Hey, what's up you guys? It's Dorothy and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, don't forget to click that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and comment down below what you expect this video to be about. If you have already watched my previous video, then you do realize that the book I've been reading, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, is in my boyfriend's car. So I cannot read that to you or make videos about it like I wanted to. So I'm just gonna hop into a different book today. Oh sorry, I keep having to adjust my camera. Yes, I do have a Trump flag in the back. We are Trump supporters. If you're not, that's okay. You can support whoever you want to. No judgment coming from me. Anyways, we are going to get into a different book. I have started reading this book, but I have never finished it. Because to be honest, I don't know what Roman numerals are, so I can't really tell you what chapter I was on. But, you know, we are going to start reading Pride and Prejudice. So, yay! It's a really, really hard read. I started reading this when I was in 10th grade, to be honest. And I've been out of high school for almost 4 years now. God, no, 3 years now. I've almost been out of high school for 3 years, which is scary. Because I started reading it 6 years ago and I still have not finished it. So yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, so if you don't know, Pride and Prejudice is written by Jane Austen. She is a very, very good author, but like I will tell you, it sometimes can be a hard read for people. So we'll just see how this goes, and since my other book has my actual bookmark, I have my fake bookmark, which is just a piece of paper I wrote on saying keep on moving forward with a bunch of hearts and little diamonds on it. So let's get into the book. Chapter 1. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. However little known the feeling or views of such a man may be on his first entering a neighborhood, this truth is so well fixed in the minds of the surrounding families that he is considered the rightful property of some one or other of their daughters. "My dear Mr. Bennet," said his lady to him one day, "have you heard that Netherfield Park is let at last?" Mr. Bennet replied that he had not. "But it is," returned she, "for Miss Long has just been here, and she told me all about it." Mr. Bennet made no answer. "Do you not want to know who has taken it?" cried his wife impatiently. "You want to tell me, and I have no objection to hearing it." This was invitation enough. "Why, my dear, you must know Miss Long says that Netherfield is taken by a young man of large fortune from the north of England, and he came down on Monday in a chaise and four to see the place, and was so much delighted with it that he agreed with Mr. Morris immediately that he had to take possession before Michaelmas, and some of his servants are to be in the house by the end of next week." "What is his name?" "Bringley." "Is he married or single?" "Oh, single, my dear, to be sure. A single man of a large fortune, 4,000 or 5,000 a year. What a fine thing for our girls!" "How so? How can it affect them?" "My dear Mr. Bennet," replied his wife, "how can you be so tiresome? You must know that I am thinking of his marrying one of them." "Is that his design in settling here?" "Design? Nonsense! How can you talk so? But it is very likely that he may fall in love with one of them, and therefore you must visit him as soon as he comes." "I see no occasion for that. You and the girls may go, or you may send them by themselves, which perhaps will be still better, for as you are as handsome as any of them, Mr. Bringley may like you the best of the party." "My dear, you flatter me. I certainly have had my share of beauty, but I do not pretend to be anything extraordinary now. When a woman has 5 grown-up daughters, she ought to give over thinking of her own beauty. In such case, a woman has not often much beauty to think of. But, my dear, you must indeed go and see Mr. Bringley when he comes into the neighborhood. It is more than I engage for, I assure you. But consider your daughters. Only think what an establishment it would be for them." for one of them. Sir William and Lady Lucas are determined to go, merely on the account, for in good general, you know they visit no newcomers. Indeed, you must go, for it will be impossible for us to visit him if you do not. You are scrupulous, surely. I dare say Mr. Bingley will be very glad to see you, and I will send a few lines by you to assure him of my hearty consent to his marrying whichever he chooses of the girls, though I must throw in a good word for my little Lizzie. I desire you will do no such thing. Lizzie is not a bit better than the others, and I am sure she is not half so handsome as Jane, nor half so good-humoured as Lydia. But you are always giving her the preference. They have none of them much to recommend them, replied he. They are silly and ignorant like other girls, but Lizzie has something more of quickness than her sisters. Mr. Bennet, how can you abuse your own children in such a way? You take a delight in vexing me. You have no compassion for my poor nerves. You mistake me, my dear. I have high respect for your nerves. They are my old friends. I have heard you mention them with consideration these last 20 years at least. Ah, you do not know what I suffer. But I hope you will get over it and live to see many young men of 4,000 a year come into the neighborhood. It will be no use to us if 20 such should come, since you will not visit them. Depend upon it, my dear, that when they are 20 I will visit them all. Mr. Bennet was so odd a mixture of quick parts, sarcastic humour, reserve, and caprice, that experience of 20 years had been insufficient to make his wife understand his character. Her mind was less difficult to develop. She was a woman of meaning, understanding, little information, and uncertain temper. When she was discontented, she fenced herself nervous. The business of her life was to get her daughters married. Its solace was visiting and news. So that is chapter 1 of Pride and Prejudice. I'm going to leave the video off here, that way I'm not making them too long, but I hope you guys did enjoy it, and come back for chapter 2 whenever I get that uploaded. So yeah, bye.